Hey everybody, welcome to this week's Star Report. This is Jason here at Dunamitch Crystals and Reiki in downtown Brenham, Texas. And today's report is for April the 23rd through April the 29th, 2025. And as usual, we start with our closest star in the star report, and that is the sun. The sun has been active over the last couple of days, but most of that activity has not been Earth directed. There was a triple eruption over the last day and a half, and none of those were Earth facing. There are no big threats currently on the Earth facing part of the solar disk. There is a waning energy from the last coronal hole that was quite large, but all of those solar storms are dying down. Only a thing of note is in studying all of that energy that comes from the sun, there are reports that show that I believe it's El Nino that's supposed to be the warm water that happens during the summertime is actually colder water than it should be. So it shows that our oceans are cooling, at least over the last several months of observation. So that might bring a different sort of rain pattern. And the main thing that we don't want to see or would be leery to see would be the waters getting so cold that the uh, whatever they're called. I totally lost my train of thought. The flow of the water as it goes, if it were to reverse because of coldness, then it would get super frigid. Definitely in the north, but definitely Europe would be super cold because it wouldn't be getting the tropical flow from the Atlantic. We are currently in the solar zodiac sign of Taurus, which is the back of the head right here at the occipital lobe, the beginning or termination of the polyvagal nerve cluster. So the vagus nerve that goes and occupies and drives a lot of the energy that moves down into the rest of the body. Alchemically, that sort of relation to the Taurus and that part of the skull is about interpreting all of the spiritual information that we've contemplated about who we are and what we're doing here while we were hibernating for winter. And as we wake up for spring, we make sense of the programming that is into the new seed of us or the new season of us. You could get pain at the bottom of the neck. You could have disruptions in the flow of that if you're sort of resisting the new programming, or if you doubt the new programming and don't believe in yourself. But some of the planets, especially all the work we did with Venus in retrograde, which has now been gone for 2 weeks, you should be able to sort of wrestle with that and understand that you are indeed worthy of the change and the programming that you contemplated over that long winter season. Hope that's working out for you. Blah, 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 blah. Sun, Taurus. Oh, yeah, now we're into today. Today is Wednesday, and it is still the 23rd of April because this is when I started the report. And today, Wednesday, as we move into Taurus, we want to think about the energy that Taurus represents as a sign, not necessarily as an alchemical representation in the body. And that is really the ability to focus, the ability to impose your will, the ability, you can call it an ability, the ability to focus and then not stop, right? Not be moved off course. And that sort of focus that the bull brings is about this awakening. Venus does continue to sort of influence us, right? This motivation, this action that we're taking, we are indeed worthy of the fruits that it might deliver to us. So don't be laboring in vain or laboring with that little bit of hesitation that you're working towards a goal you don't deserve, or that you're guilty that others aren't as awake or aren't having the same opportunities. That's not going to help you move along. And of course, metaphysical energy, spiritual awakening, spiritual development is much like an airplane, right? We must put on our oxygen first so that we may take care of others. So don't worry necessarily that you are moving forward and getting all these gifts and you wish other people would move along with you or that they would understand and move along themselves. That little bit of hesitation might cause you to take too many stumbles along your own path. So pay attention to that. And if you are in a position where you're going, what are you talking about, Jason? Life is shit, and I'm not ready to take on anything new at all. sort of realize that same amount of power. Right? It's kind of like if you've driven the wrong direction for a while, you're still driving the car, so you can turn around. Is it annoying? Is it laborious? Yes, but you are still in charge. You're a divine eternal soul worthy of love and affection. You're never going to die, and therefore you have the authority over your own life to make the changes that you need, even if you've gone down the wrong direction or you don't see that it's having any positive effect. Um, maybe check your expectations or what you think effect looks like, or check where you think you should have been going and where the universe led you, and see if one is better than the other, or if they can be combined to make you less dissatisfied. That sounds like a good Wednesday. It is currently rainy here in South Texas. And so if you are just sort of like, oh my gosh, what rainy, contemplative weather, then that is indeed the energy that you can embrace for today, the 23rd of April. Moves us into tomorrow, Thursday, the 24th. The energy of Taurus has you feeling yourself, right? So this is like, I'm the best damn bull in the pasture kind of energy, right? That's how Taurus works. They like nice things and they believe they're worth those nice things. Therefore, sometimes the hesitation should be, don't be measuring yourself by the nice things that you have rather than the nice things that you've discovered about yourself. Should be something you might want to focus on instead. Um, that energy, the sun also aligns with Pluto, highlighting which is sort of the catch 22 of this. The sun's alignment with Pluto is really sort of highlighting those last little bits of things that aren't perfection. Uh, and then we'll sort of get into the cautionary tale of Friday. But if there's any remaining work to be done on the self, if there's any last little bit of fertilization of the soil or plantings that you forgot to do, right? We're thinking seasonally stuff, right? Winter things of preparation for spring. If there's any sort of last little thing that maybe you forgot about, didn't do, or left till the end, this energy of Thursday tomorrow is going to be highlighting that energy as a like, hey, it's going to be a much better car ride if you remember, your ice chest of water so that you don't, run out of hydration on this long journey to become yourself or to institute new places and things that you're doing for yourself. So that's the thing. Sometimes it might be highlighted as something negative, but don't dwell on that. And if you do, it might shift into Friday, which is going to be Friday the 25th of April. The moon, which should be in the sign of Aries at that time, is conjuncting Neptune. And so after Thursday's energy, you may be feeling, and this is a human thing to do, so don't really fret. Don't fret if you start to go down this pathway. But after Thursday, you may feel that you've discovered this flaw and you want to focus on that, right? Like, oh, I'm so perfect except for this. And you start to focus on the flaw rather than the perfection that you already created. And I'm moving way away from my microphone. Can you even hear me over there? I don't know. But we'll see in the recording. Um, yeah, so that idea, like, if you have this nice big shiny, that's pretty shiny. If you have this nice shiny thing with lights pointing on it and a forehead, you might be tempted to like, oh, like this one part is like a pimple, and I'm just going to focus on that rather than the beauty or the presence or the countenance of which you emanate, right? Which is an inner energy, which 9 times out of 10 people are going to see your energy before they start to discern differentiations or discover why they think you might have that energy, or how that energy might be uncongruent with how they sort of feel about you, with sort of how you present yourself. Like if you like, I never comb my hair, right? But you have this nice sense of put together on the inside, right? That might be an incongruent sort of feeling that they might think about second. But during this energy of Friday, when we have all these alignments, you might be tempted to focus on I'm this zit on my forehead rather than I'm this well aligned, well thought out, well contemplated being that is happening, presenting, right? And maybe, as pimples are, sometimes pimples are the escape of toxicity on the inside, right? And so maybe if you happen to get the pimple or have this thing about yourself, that is really this last presentation of that toxicity that's leaving the body. And so you can let it leave naturally, or you can force it out, whichever you'd like to do. Oh my gosh, who knew that I was going to be talking about skincare on Friday, the 25th of April? But I did. And so there you go. Yeah, so your new clarity isn't to harp on what's wrong with you, but sort of notice like there's a couple little things to be taken care of, and you're on your way. Moves into Saturday the 26th. We should be exiting the post shadow of Mercury retrograde. Should be ending that day, and maybe you are in full swing of Taurus, feeling yourself, even getting past the blemishes that you still have left to correct or to enhance, and maybe like today in South Texas, as it's raining all day, maybe you sort of felt like you were stuck in the mud. This energy on Saturday, when we get past that post shadow, you sort of feel that unstuckness to move along freely and actually start to gain momentum. This is almost like starting uphill, right? It sort of takes you a time to sort of get your pedals right and pedal uphill. This is like you're now in full stride, and you sort of know the effort in the direction momentum is going to take to top that hill that you're going up. So that's the energy of Saturday. Should be great. Should be a great Saturday. All of a sudden when we're free to do what we want to do, and we feel like less hindered to do that, and we sort of see a clear path. This is kind of like if you've been in slow traffic for a while, and all of a sudden the lane opens up, and you can just finally actually go the speed limit because people are in the left lane going below the speed limit, right? That's the feeling you're going to have on Saturday of like, finally, right? So cautionary tales, don't judge everybody that's been going slow in front of you. Just get on your way and try not to honk and stare, and definitely try not to give the bird as you pass by. Remain calm. It's going to be fine. Moves you into Sunday, excuse me. Sunday the 27th and Monday the 28th are going to be sort of combined days, depending on which side of the planet you're on. We are going to be having our second super new moon of the year. And this super moon is going to be the closest super moon of all year. And so when the moon is close, right, that's really sort of gives us our balance of life, gives us our seasons. The idea of divine feminine sort of resonates in the moon quality or the moon goddess energy. And so you want to think of what's going to be really there is an increased capacity to make something brand new, or an increased capacity to build upon all the discoveries that you made during that season of Venus retrograde, of are you worthy? What's the point? All those kinds of things. So it really sort of makes for a great Sunday, Monday. Sometimes a lot of that work of seeing our potential and how much greater we'll be, we naturally associate that with, do we have enough effort to get there? And then we start to question that worthiness that we just discovered with this Venus retrograde. So look at it more of the promise of what capacity you have, rather than the perceived from this direction, from this side, from this location of how much effort it's going to take. It's more of a belief system in the possibility, and then the universe will sort of take care of the effort itself, as long as you continue to act on little crumbs that move you along the direction. So yeah, so pay attention to Sunday and Monday. Why do I keep wanting to say Saturday? Sunday and Monday. So beginning of the week is going to be really positive for just getting going. Let's see, blah blah. Did I say anything else about that? Yeah, it's just sort of like you find your traction, right? You're unstuck, and now you find your traction. It's almost like if it's rainy weather, oh my God, I'm going to use rainy weather because it's raining today all day. If it's rainy and all of a sudden your traction control kicks in and you stop spinning your tires and you can actually get some momentum and start moving, that's going to be sort of the energy of Sunday, Monday, which leads us into Tuesday, the 29th of 20, April the 29th of 2025. Moon is going to be in Taurus, and that's going to be a sextiling Venus. You could feel some social sort of soiree, like, hey, I can be a part of a group. Other people aren't that bad. The world isn't something to necessarily be hidden from. Although some people, it might be measured. You might be feeling social, but like, hey, come over to my house so we can chill out. Not, hey, let's go out and spend money, or hey, let's go out and do everything that everybody else is doing. But really, that ability to be social is just sort of to connect to other people about what's going on, not necessarily about doing things to occupy you, to sort of hey, we did something or occupy time together. One of the sort of highlights or cautionary tales of the energy that's sort of going on Tuesday is, and this happens a lot when you invite people over, and like some people bring stuff and some people don't bring anything, right? Even if, it's just that sort of idea where even if you didn't sort of say, hey, bring something over, or what are you bringing? Or you gave them a list of things to bring. The energy is really that you're going to kind of have a clairvoyance into seeing, I don't say the lopsidedness, but in any relationship, somebody gives more and somebody gives less, right? But like you usually want to sort of measure out or go back and forth. The energy of Tuesday is really, you really start to see, um, highlight, become aware of those ones where it's really an imbalance. Most of us will be having the tendency to see what's out of balance in the other's favor, meaning like, oh, look, we give so much and they give so little. But there will be the ability to sort of see where could you give more? Where have you been lacking in these energies and these relationships? And that's going to be on Tuesday. I think that's I think that's everything that I can tell that's happening in the starport, or everything that I found to be important to include in what's happening in this week's cosmos. Of course, your own star chart's going to have different little alignments, and they're going to be in different houses, so these energies might affect you slightly differently. But just sort of pay attention that this is the overviewing thing. That's why I started this report in the first place. Here's the generalities that everybody should be feeling. And then you go into the particulars of why you might be feeling them differently or additional things. And then, of course, I always want to give you a solar report because the sun is indeed the most controlling star and raises and lowers our energy levels. Sometimes triggers them to be hyperactivity or deludes them to feel like it's a bunch of effort and we're drained. So just a little bit of this and that for this week. In case anybody's paying attention or actually watching this on Wednesday, today is the only day I will be open this week here in the shop in downtown Brenham. So I'll be closed tomorrow, Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday this week. So I'll be back available for appointments if you want to book online at newdimensionscrystals.com for Monday and Tuesday. And then, of course, I'll be back here in the shop making next week's star report on next Wednesday. And should be open the rest of that week, if I'm guessing. And then, of course, if you are in the area, I believe May the 4th, I will be in LaGrange. There is a post on our Facebook page, probably even our Instagram page. But definitely, there is a notification that we are doing a breathwork and sound healing at the Quilting Museum in LaGrange at 2 p.m. on Sunday, May the 4th. And that'll be with Dodie Rogers doing the sound and yours truly doing the breath, actually leading that because y'all are going to do the breath and hear the sound. Anywho, look that up if you are interested. I always enjoy leading people through such things and would be glad if you made it. Yeah, I think that's everything. So I'm going to find the little button that says I can stop recording now. And until next time, everybody, many blessings.